Welcome to another episode with another amazing guest speaker. This time I have got the queen of social media herself, specifically building Facebook communities, Heather Rose, and I'm so excited to have her here and talk about the impact of using social media for your business. So Heather, do you want to tell everybody who you are, if they don't know already, and what you do?
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for having me on this podcast. Absolutely amazing to be here. So I'm Heather Rose, for anybody that doesn't know who I am. And my business is Pink Fizz Social. So I'm a social media mentor, but I specialize in organic Facebook marketing. So I can help small businesses, help to increase their visibility, help to get that engagement that we all crave for. We all say, I'm not getting any engagement. What am I doing? Well, I can help you with that. And then obviously in return, if you're doing all those things better and getting results, we're going to get more sales in your business. So that's what I specialize on. And my other like magic sources, I can help people save time on their social media, because one thing that people say is, I haven't got time. Social media is so stressful. It takes too much time. Well, it doesn't have to be like that. Social media is a gift. And if we use it correctly, it doesn't have to consume all your time.
That's so true. And actually, I just want to say about how we actually met, because it's really cool. So we met through a networking community, but I learned a lot from Heather in particular about using Facebook. And then I kind of applied it to other platforms as well, actually, to build a community, and it just took off. It absolutely blew up because I was running networking events at the time, which then made me think, oh, I could help business owners too. And then that blew up. So I'm thankful that I met you, Heather, for all the training that you did.
Oh,
for our
my
community.
pleasure. And I'm so proud. It's been a pleasure to watch your journey. From when we first had that initial call and getting to know one another to then where you are now is
Yeah.
just insane. And I am super, super proud.
You were actually one of the first people to know that what I was doing, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna do some business trainings and things like that, and I was like scared. And I reached out to Heather because we were working in the same company basically, and I was like, is this okay? And Heather was just like, as you always are, full on support, backing me up and all that, and I just went for it. And I literally applied everything I took from networking and learning from you into business, and social media really did have an impact on me. So I'd love to know, actually, talking about that, how social media had an impact on you for your businesses, because it's been more than just one as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, I'd love to hear your kind of story and how it's impacted you.
It's had a massive impact in many ways. It can be a lonely world being self-employed, and without social media, I wouldn't have met the people, the friendships, the collaborations, the support network around me. When you're in business, we need that support network. And without social media, I would never have had that, apart from obviously my husband and son, who's very, very supportive. But out of that, other family and close friends, they don't get, if they're not in business, they don't get
Yeah,
you. And I always hear this, oh, people are not supportive. It's always the people that you don't know, and the people that you meet, strangers or on social media, are always your biggest supporters rather than the people that are close to you. Sad, but true. So
yeah,
social media has had a massive impact. It's given me a platform to actually have some healing in the trauma that I've been through my life. And without that, I wouldn't have had the confidence to like share my story and have the support come back from that. So it has been a massive outlet to share my story and help, as well as help myself heal, help others who have been through similar things than me, and share that, that you can get through these things. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and we are very capable, and we are amazing humans, and we can do anything that we want to do.
it's so true, isn't it? Like, I think when we met, actually, one of the things that pulled me in was the relatability of your story. Some of the things you've been through, I'm actually still going through now, or have been through in the past, and I'm like, yes, me too. And it's like a breath, even though it's not always positive, it's like a breath of fresh air, but we can turn it into something positive to help us grow as well,
Yeah.
which is what creates connections, communities, which you are amazing at. And it's like your superpower, I'd say.
Oh,
So one of the biggest things I actually got from you was building a community. And It's really been amazing for me in my business. So, how important do you think it is to build a community using social media for business?
Massively. People buy into people, and when you build those relationships and those friendships with people, it's powerful. The magic happens. When the previous businesses that I've done, as a network marketing about 8 years ago, and I've done lots of other things since, a lot of people just use social media to like sell, sell, sell. They're not actually building those relationships. And people don't want to be sold to. They want to, feel that they're part of a community and, feel that they know the person that they're buying into, and I always say that, as you know, people buy into people before they buy your product and service. And that is so true. And building communities is a great way of doing that, is nurturing your audience, letting them get to know who you are as a person, so they invest in you.
Mm.
Huge success, as you know, in my businesses because people have bought into me because they like me for who I am. They feel connected and relatable. They've related to some part of my story. I've just become authentic, and being authentic is super needed on social media. So building communities is the most powerful tool that you can have for your business. And this is why I love Facebook, because I feel that Facebook is the only platform really you can build communities. I don't feel like you can do that in a powerful way on the other platforms like you can do on Facebook. So that's why I love that. And building communities has been my speciality, as you know, and I wouldn't be where I am today without my communities, because they become your warm audience, they become your friendships, they become your lifelines, they become your supporters, and as well as supporters, they become your customers. And they'll always stay your customer more or less if you are nurturing them in a community.
It's so true. I always say when I'm training, like there's 3 steps when you're building your business, like you lead, you nurture, and you convert. And that middle bit is the biggest bit, because that's the people miss out. And that's the nurture is so important. That connection building and relationship building is
Just
vital.
for example, I've had 5 messages alone this morning that people have either added me as a friend or we've been connected a bit, and they're just straight in my inbox. We've never had any conversations and they're straight in my inbox selling to me. And I'm like, you miss it. If you had built that relationship with me, we've had some conversations prior without you trying to sell to me, engaged on my social media and been part of, my journey, then I'd be interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, it's true though, isn't it? Like I've got certain people now that, because I know them very well and I love their products and services, or I don't want to miss it because, we get busy and we're doing our own thing, I'll be like, just message me. Like if you're selling it, message me, because we have got a relationship and I've given them permission to do that. And it probably would look spammy on the outside, but it's not, because I've said, do it. If there's a new product, let me know. Especially with my skincare, I love to know that stuff is there. Yeah. So I say to her, it's like she saved me some money sometimes with some amazing offers. But if that was someone that I didn't know, I'd really want to say, just go away and leave me alone. You don't know that I actually need it. So it is about realising what people do need as well, isn't it? And I think that's a big key part when you community building, like getting to know people, what they need, what they want. And even if you don't have what they need, or they don't have what you need, you never know if that could just be a friend that could recommend you, and builds.
This is what I say in networking events as part of my membership. We have networking meetings, and I say to them all the time, it's not necessarily who's here on this call or in this when you're going out networking in person, or people that you're speaking to in general on Facebook. Not everybody's going to be your customer, and that's okay, but it's so who do they all know? So if they all buy into you because you've built that relationship, they're going to recommend you to friends, family, when they're in situations or networking events where someone says, oh, I'm looking for somebody who sells this, or I'm looking for somebody who does this service, or I need help with this, because they've built that relationship up with you and you've got that trust. They're going to say, oh, actually, yeah, I know Dani who does this, or I know Heather who does this. It's not necessarily those people who are not your customers. They all know people too. And that's the powerful of connection and building relationships and community building and networking is it's not just who's there on that day, who are you speaking to face, it's you know, who they know.
It is so true. Like I got like a little story here, but when I had my first business, which I've now closed, I was like I wasn't getting sales. Like, I was getting sales, but not consistently, and I wanted to bring that consistency in. And I actually used a lot of what you taught around Facebook to change that. And what's interesting is then it actually transformed into having people I don't know. As soon as someone wanted a memory bear, she's the one to do it. And I'm like, I didn't know the person, they've never bought from me, but they obviously knew of me because of the visibility and the connections I had made. So they
Yeah.
knew of me. She's just amazing to like some days wake up and there's a thread where they're asking for something and then about 10 people recommended me. I was like, wow, this is so unexpected.
You want to be the person that is known for your thing. Whatever you sell or offer, you want to be known as that person. So when people are hearing, you know, people say, oh, I could do with this or I need that, you are the person that comes to their mind. And just, you know, networking alone is powerful, but being consistent on social media, being that person that comes up all the time on social media, gets into people, it might not need you right now, but because you're showing up daily, you're never out of sight. So when people do think, oh, actually, I could do with that now. Oh, I know who, Heather, she does that. Or I know Dani. You've got to be in people's, you know, they always say that saying, isn't it? Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, it's so true though. So, so true. And I think a lot of time with people so scared to be visible, but actually in terms of social media, if you just put yourself out there, the result is a lot better than I think we should go for the worst case scenario. And I know you've been trolled in the past, but honestly I don't think it's ever happened to me. Not really badly anyway. I mean I've been judged on things, of course, we do, it's part of life, but not really trolled, and I can't say I know many people that have been, so it's very, very unlikely, especially now as we become bigger communities. Like if you do, then people are going to be like, whoa, that's not true, and they'll support you. So there's more by having a community, you're actually going to get support when someone does do something negative like that.
And I always said to people are always saying to me, some of my clients have always said, I don't want to put myself out there because I'm scared of trolls and all this. And I just said, you know what? We can get trolled anywhere in life. You know, people can say bad things to us, and it's just one of those that they don't matter. They're not paying your bills, you know.
I love that.
They don't know you. They're not walking in your shoes and living your life and walking your story. They don't know who you are. So their opinions and comments don't matter. It's what they do for a living is trolling. It's not just directed at you. They probably trolled another 10, 15, whatever amount of people that day as it is. So don't take it personally as much as it is personal. You know, you feel that it's targeted at you. It's not. They're not just targeting Dani. They're targeting loads of people because that's what they get off on is trolling people. So it's trying to take that personal connection away from it, that it's not just aimed at you. I just think, you know, we want to grow our businesses. Don't let these people stop us from doing that.
That's so true. It is. But let's look at the other end of it. What has been like the biggest win for you with social media? Like what impact has it had for you?
Oh, what a good question. It's had loads of impacts, really. I have made the most amazing connections with people and friendships that I would never, ever have dreamt without social media. You know, I've got some of the most best friends now that I would call best friends from meeting them on social media. I wouldn't have the businesses that I have today because I've gone through so much on social media, you know, come across so many different people. I've learned so much from watching others as well. We wouldn't have that if we didn't have social media. How can you tap into all what's available to us on social media out in the real world? You can't. It's impossible. We're being gifted social media free of charge, and people forget that. They're soon to complain, or the algorithms are not working, they've changed, I'm not getting this, or Facebook's done that, Instagram's blocked me doing this, and blah, 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 blah. But we all forget we've been gifted social media free of charge. Yes, there is paid aspects if you want to pay for paid ads and all that, but you don't have to. The main platforms are gifted to us free of charge, which is a gift. And I think a lot of people forget that. And, you know, social media, you can tap into millions, billions of people. Whereas if we didn't have that, how much work would you have to do on? Well, you couldn't. You couldn't possibly reach that amount of people in the real outside of social media. You couldn't.
No, you couldn't. Like, I can't imagine how businesses were built before. So, because I built, and my business relies on social media so much, but I
That's
enjoy
it.
it as well. So I
But
don't
we
mind.
can get in front of so many people and we can help so many people. No matter what you're selling, we're all helping somebody in some way, whether it's finding that perfect problem, perfect product for somebody, solving a problem, helping them with some part of their life in some way. We're all helping with whatever we're selling. And having social media as that platform, we can get into front of so many people. There are so many opportunities on Facebook now and social media in general, from Facebook Lives, Reels, Stories. Yeah. There's so much out there that we've got that we can reach so many people and change and help people's lives, make connections. I wouldn't be where I am today without social media, if I'm quite honest. I mean, people say it's really bad for people's mental health and there's lots of negativity and all that on social media. Of course there is. But it's also, look at the plus side, what it can do for people as well. If I didn't have social media, I don't know whether I would actually be here today, because I think my my mental health would have taken a massive battering without having social media, to have that platform to share my story, to talk to others, to see that other people have been through what I've been through as well, and to talk to those people, and to have the support network that I have now on social media is just absolutely incredible. And if I didn't have that, I think my mental health would be on the floor.
I can totally relate to that, because I've gained so much from, not even just for business, but like as a parent, from connecting people, for my skin, from my skincare that I buy, because I met someone on social media.
There's a group for everything, isn't there? So any part of your life, whatever you want, there's a group for something. If you want to learn how to fish, if you want camping ideas, if you want to learn outdoor skills, if you want to learn keep fit, if you want to learn social, whatever, there is a group for everything, isn't there? So
like when I was decluttering, right, I'm gonna go look for some ideas before I move house. Declutter, you can do everything, and then cleaning groups, thousands of those now. There's all these little niche topics, and it is amazing because you can literally at your fingertips find what you need support with for free.
Feel not alone, does it? I mean, I'm not just talking, I said at the start, didn't I? It can be really lonely being a business owner, it can, being self-employed. But not only that, it can be a lonely world for a lot of people, people who are struggling with mental health, illnesses, disabilities, single parents, parents that are having, got autistic and children with special needs like myself and you have, without having that support on social media. Again, I don't know where I would be if, with my, journey with Isaac and his, journey that we've been through. If I didn't have social media and the help and support groups that I've had on there, again, I don't know where we would be right now.
It's so, and it's interesting as well, because like the impact of you, taking something from something you see, then has, like, for me, I watch like your posts and I see Isaac doing all these amazing, little daredevil he is, doing his amazing things. I get anxious just watching it, because, like, especially when he does stuff in water, because I'm terrified of water, and he does it and he's amazing. And I look at it, it's kind of inspiring and makes me smile, because even though I have my struggles with like my son who's going through the autism diagnosis, like he could be the one that's doing that in like 10 years time when he's Isaac's age, and you know what I mean. So it is nice to just raise that up and see like potential futures for ourselves as well. It is inspiring and amazing. What would be your best advice for using social media? How can we best use it to make an impact on our businesses?
Oh, stay focused on one platform where your ideal customer is. I always say first, and obviously you teach this as well. Don't try to sell to everybody. Have an ideal client, have your ideal avatar, avatar, who you want to sell to, because when you have that in place, you can make your content speak to that person. You know who you're speaking to, so you know how to sell, you know what problems they're going through, so you know what solutions that you can give to their problems. And it makes your content writing so much easier when you know who to sell to, because if you're just trying to sell to everybody, it just comes across Luke. It's just not speaking to anybody really. So that would be number one tip. Make sure that you know who you're selling to and have an ideal client. Number two, just stick to one platform at a time. You know, really think where your ideal client hangs about. You know, are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they on TikTok? I think everybody sees social media and people, you know, being in multiple places, and they think that they have to too. But you don't. I always say to my clients, you know, stick to one platform, learn it, do it well before you move on to something else, because otherwise you're just dropping little pieces in different places and it's not being effective. It's not effective marketing at all. And I think a lot of people do get that shiny ball syndrome, don't they? Oh God, I need to be over there. Oh, TikTok's launched, I need to be over on TikTok. And now Threads has come out, I need to be on Threads now. And they're jumping from one place to another, but not actually doing what they need to be doing and the tasks, really, because they're trying to be everywhere. So that's what I would say is try not to be everywhere. Focus on one to two places, I always say, and do them well. And thirdly, be authentic. Just be yourself on social media. Don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to be mirroring what your competition's doing, you know, because it doesn't matter what they're doing. They're not you, and people buy into you. So it doesn't matter what they're doing. Keep in your lane, keep watering your own garden. Don't be distracted from Barbara over the fence that way and Sandra over the fence that way, because that won't serve you. Just be you, stay in your own lane, be authentic, stick to 1 to 2 platforms and have an ideal client.
I love that, because as you were saying it, 2 of those points like relate for me, because people can see me and you on social media on multiple platforms and think, well, they're doing multiple, I can. And I think sometimes you've got to remember that me and you have been doing this for years. Like, I've been community building for 10 years, in business for 9. I don't know how long's it been for you now?
8-9 years, yeah.
So like, we have had the time to master one platform, then bring in another, and then enable to be in control of it, I guess, so it doesn't overwhelm us, which I think is key, so key. Like, Threads came out, I love it, but I've not implemented a strategy for it because I want to protect my energy and put it where I want to enjoy using. And I love Facebook. Like, I just can't beat Facebook in my opinion. I love it. Because I find it easy to use, which I know some people don't, and they prefer Instagram, but that's because it's what's right for them, what's right for me. And I do find it's quite often that people watch and think, well, you're on here and you're on there, I can do that too. And like, yes, but just start small, like you say. And I do always say the same advice. Well, I learned from the best, obviously. I have. So if anyone wants to connect with you, Heather, and you've got a membership, please tell us about that. And if they want to come and find you, where can we go find you?
Yeah, so obviously I'm everywhere. You can't miss me with the pink hair. And you've got pink hair too, so I must have rubbed that off on you as well.
I know.
In the pink world. So you can find me obviously on all the platforms as Pink Fizz Social. I have a free Facebook group as well. You're more than welcome to join that, where I share lots of, you know, tips and free trainings. And yeah, you can just find me anywhere really. So I would love to connect with you all. My membership is the Academy. And this is where I can help save people time on their social media. So my membership has lots of things to it. I'll try and get through a few of the things. So I've got thousands and thousands of graphics that are pre-made for you. All you need to do is just edit them with your own branding and you're good to go. So obviously saving you time making, you know, images from scratch. Loads of thousands and thousands of templates as well created for you for all different aspects, from lead magnets to sales pages, all sorts of things that you can just edit, put your own branding on, tweak it, whatever you need to do, and off you go. National holidays for every day of the year, graphics made for you that you can just post on your socials. Questions. So I've pre-written loads of questions that you can just copy and paste and put on your own socials, pre-written sales copy that you can just fill in the blanks, all my access to all my courses, There's masterclasses from other experts in there as well, including your lovely self. And yeah, you get 2 networking meetings a month, 2 accountability sessions a month, and there's just tons and tons of stuff in there.
Wow.
And that's all for £29 a month. Or you can just have access to the template club, which is just access to the templates, and that's £12 a month. So yeah, you can work with me that way, or there's other areas that I can help you with. I do one-to-one mentoring, I do team trainings, Facebook audits, lots and lots of things.
I love that. It's so cool. And yeah, just like all those templates, like Heather's done the legwork, so we don't have to. I actually had a client a few weeks ago who was talking about content, and she actually said, well, I'm in Heather's roles and I've got these, and right, go use them then.
Yeah,
So she was like, right, I'm off the schedule and use them. And then when she got that bit out of the way, she could focus on all the other things, which is where it frees up time. And I love that. Freeing up time is my favourite thing, because we can go do other stuff we enjoy. Usually for me, it's creative. Thank you so much, Heather Rose. And the last question that I asked all my guests, what would be your best tip for being organised in your business?
Oh, organisation. I love that one. Time blocking. Time blocking was a game changer for me and changed everything. I was everywhere. I was trying to do everything. I had to-do lists that had like 30 things on it every day, and I worked completing them, and I was getting myself overwhelmed and in a tiz. And I just learned how about time blocking. So I started time blocking, and just time blocking snippets of time in my diary for certain tasks. Everything gets in my diary now, from when I need to go for lunch, when I've got a meeting, if it's something to do with Isaac, when I need to go and walk the dog, when I need to go do food shopping, when I want to scroll on Facebook, when I need to answer my emails, whatever the task is, gets time blocked in my diary. And if it's not in there, it ain't getting done.
That's exactly how I do it as well. Sometimes I think it's excessive, but I might, like, if it's not in, it don't happen.
If you're not in there, it ain't getting done.
That's exactly it. Yeah, like if my calendar had a blip the other week and it's not put someone's call in, so they message me like, oh my god, it's not in the calendar. Actually, I was available, so I'm like, yeah, let's just do it.
Just keep you on track better. You can just look at what you've got on. Right, 8 till 8:30. Right, I've got that task. 9 till whatever, I've got that task, and it just keeps you on track.
Yeah,
it's been a game changer for me, honestly. It really has.
It has for me, actually. So I agree with that. Thank you so much, and do check out the show notes, and you can see how you can connect with Heather. Go look at all her links and things like that, and her membership. And yeah, thank you, Heather, for joining me.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.